My Little Pony, The Ghost Rider 2, The Spirits of Vengeance. By Big Imagination A. Chapter 1, A New Demon and a New Task. One night at the Crystal Empire the residents were all peacefully sleeping away in their homes. But then suddenly we hear footsteps as a being was walking towards the Empire, leaving a trail of decomposing plants and other things. When he stopped we zoom up to see a man who is a master of hell and has definitely aged. His name was Rourke. And he has powers that no one else has. On Earth, he's weak. His powers are limited. He needs emissaries to do his dirty work, so he finds them or makes them using deals. The Crystal Empire, huh? Well, I shall see that I can find a body that is worthy to possess. Rourke smirked. So he quietly snuck inside the Empire and even sneak attacked the guards and rotted their bodies. He then went in the throne room and looked around the place. Quite lovely for one so shiny. Well, I guess maybe when I take over I will turn this into something more hellish-like. Yeah. Now where is that ruler? Rourke wondered. He snuck around and heard some cooing from one of the rooms. He went to the door, rotted it and smashed it to pieces. Instantly the child woke up and was scared. She had cotton candy hair, pinkish white fur, big bright blue eyes, and a giant pair of wings and a horn. Clearly it was an infant, if the nightgown she was wearing it worse wasn't any indication. She stared at him and got all scared. The girl is Flurry Heart. Well, aren't you precious? Maybe I should switch gears and possess your body instead. You seem perfect. Rourke hissed. Stay away. Flurry screamed. But Rourke didn't listen and he got closer, make her more scared. Suddenly he screamed in pain as he felt something on his shoulder. There was a burn mark and he turned facing two more ponies at him. One of them was like just a regular unicorn, with a blue mane and tail. The pink-winged unicorn had a tail and mane which consisted colors of purple, pink, and white, and was wearing a gold chest piece and a small gold crown. They were her parents, Shining Armor and Cadence. Get away from our daughter, you monster! Shining demanded. Or what? You gonna blast me again? 'Cause you just made a grave mistake attacking me. And for that you will suffer. Rourke shouted. He ran fast and punched him in the face as he groaned and got knocked out cold. Flurry screamed and her mother tried getting her to safety, but Rourke surprised attacked her and captured her. Got you. Now that I have you I will have a new body to take control of. So long, puny mortals. Oh, and mommy will not return home. Rourke said. He then laughed heavily and opened a hell portal and jumped in. Flurry tried going after him but it closed and all she could do was cry, and she went to her father and hugged him for confront. She had never been so upset in her life. And that was only part of the nightmare. Then we hear Johnny talking about his past. Hasbro Studios presents A Big Imagination E-Story. Tara Strong, Ashley Ball, Andrea Libman, Tabitha St. Germain, Kathy Westlake, Violante Placido, Nicolas Cage, Johnny Whitworth, and so much more. My Little Pony, The Ghost Rider 2, The Spirits of Vengeance. In the sunshine of Ponyville we see Johnny Blaze doing some sick motorcycle stunts and all the ponies were cheering for him and he waved to the crowd. But then he saw the main six and Spike along with Shining Armor coming to him. Hey gang! What's going on here? Johnny asked. Johnny! We have to get to Canterlot right now? Something terrible happened last night at the Crystal Empire. We have to get there now. Shining shouted. Okay, let's go. Johnny said as he wasted no time arguing. So everyone headed straight for Canterlot Castle and through a window Shining Armor told everyone what happened last night at the Crystal Empire. Needless to say that they were beyond scared and shocked. Let me get this straight. You're saying that another demon from hell escaped and has kidnapped Cadence and is gonna possess her body? Celestia asked. Yes. He almost attacked Flurry Heart but he got Cadence. Now I don't know what to do or who that creep was. Shining answered. Maybe you don't. But I do. A voice said. Everyone turned and saw the same man with the cane came walking towards them as the lights exploded and short-circuited when he passed. He arrived in front of them and the group instantly knew who he was the last time they saw him. Mephistopheles. They growled. What are you doing here? You about to cause more trouble. Spike growled. Oh no, not at all, Spike. As a matter of fact, I have came here because I know exactly who managed to kidnap Princess Cadence. And thought that maybe I would send out my spirits of vengeance to do another mission I assigned. Mephistopheles replied. Why should we trust you this time? You clearly killed Johnny's dad and haven't shown any mercy last time. Rainbow shouted. That's all in the past now, Rainbow. For the task I have also has a deal that I know you can't resist. Lifting the curse that Johnny carries. Mephistopheles said. Johnny was speechless. But again he was not sure that he should trust him. Especially after what happened last time. Why have you come here? Johnny asked. Because Johnny. Ever since you killed Blackheart and saved Celestia, I offered you to take back your soul. But you refused. So this time I have a deal for you and your friends. If you're willing to play ball. Mephistopheles answered. What is it this time? Applejack groaned. The one that kidnapped Cadence is a demon known as Blackout. He is bringing him to his master named Rourke. Reason why is that he senses a power in a young boy and is going to try and take the boy's soul and appears on the boy's birthday. So Rourke hires Ray Carrigan and other henchmen to bring the boy to him. And Rourke plans to possess Cadence and rule the world as her. Mephistopheles replied. So this Rourke and Blackout are the two demons that Cadence is kidnapped by? Shining asked. Oh yes. So your task is this. Seek out the two known as Blackout and Rourke. Kill them and save Cadence and the boy from their wrath. Mephistopheles demanded. We're not taking orders from you anymore. Celestia only gives the orders. Twilight said. Actually, Twilight. If what he says is true about Cadence being kidnapped by this Blackout and Rourke, then maybe you should listen to what he said. Celestia said. What? But we only do what you say. Twilight worried. Celestia knew that was true. But considering that after everything that Mephistopheles said, she didn't have time to argue, and the look in her eye told Twilight that they need to go along with it for now. The girl sighed and faced him again. Wise words from you, Celestia. And here's the deal I want to make. Mephistopheles said, pulling out a contract. If you all succeed at this, and if the boy and Cadence are returned to Equestria all safe, then I will return Johnny's soul and I will pardon the girls, and as for you, Spike, the Crystal Empire will truly appreciate you as their hero for eternity. Well, I did save the Crystal Empire more times than I can count. Spike admitted. But you better keep your word when we return. Otherwise I will burn you alive. You can try. But you won't be needing to. Oh, and I advise that Shining should take the power of the Ghost Rider himself. Mephistopheles replied as he placed his hand on Shining, taking his soul. Twilight freaked seeing her brother like this. Oh, don't worry, Twilight. After you kill Blackout and Rourke, then I will return it back like I will with Johnny's. But till then I need you to do your part. Mephistopheles said, releasing him and opening a portal. The girls, Spike, Johnny, and Shining Armor all went inside the portal, and he disappeared into thin air, leaving Celestia all by herself. Good luck, Twilight. Save Cadence and stop Blackout and Rourke. Celestia hoped. Time for the Ghost Rider and the Sinister Six to swing back in action. Chapter 2, Meeting Moro and on the job. In Eastern Europe, a man was riding on his motorcycle and into a secret fortress that was under the watchful eye of the priests that run the place. Then the leader came to him. The man on the bike was none other than Moro. Benedict. Is this true? He asked. You have found the boy? Moro asked. Yes. He was relieved that they found him. Then he went inside the place, but he was still worried about the boy's sake. He's not safe here. Not to mention that this creep has some kind of horse. Moreau replied. Nonsense, this is a fortress. The full resources of the order are at our disposal. Benedict assured. Respectfully, Benedict, this Rourke dude wants this child. And whoever the horse is. Only one place is safe. That is the sanctuary. The rider and his team, known as the Sinister Six, must take them. Moreau said. Benedict chuckled. You do enjoy your wine, Moreau. In a few days the winter solstice will be past, and with it the hour of the prophecy. Then the boy along with the pink pony will be of no use to anyone. By that time, brother, you will all be dead. Moreau joked as he gulped down more wine. This conversation is finished, Benedict said. Suddenly they heard an explosion and guns firing. Only one thought came to mind when they heard all that. Bad guys have arrived. Everyone in the castle tried to fight them off, but the bad guys gained the upper hand. They tried looking for the boy, but what they don't know is that a woman named Nadia was escaping with her son, and Moreau tried to reason with her that he can protect the boy, but she wouldn't listen. Back with Benedict, he tried hiding, but then a gun was pointed at him and he saw a man who was the leader of all these thugs. This was Ray Carrigan, and he was a drug dealer and mercenary who worked for Rourke. He did not look happy. Where are they? He asked. Shut up, Benedict yelled. Then Ray saw a car break through the door and escaped. This made Ray really angry and shot Benedict in the head. That's just great. Guys, get in the car and let's go after them. The pink horse isn't enough for the boss, Ray shouted. Moreau overheard that and ran down the steps and got on his motorcycle and rode off. With Nadia, she was trying to escape Ray and his henchmen from getting her son. Moreau was following them in hopes of trying to tell them that he needs to protect the boy. But Ray was hot on their trails, and in the car there was a tied-up Cadence struggling for life. You know, you can't just kidnap someone and expect to get away with it. You let me go, Cadence shouted. Shut up, bitch. I don't want to hear any more of your yapping. And who is this guy? Ray said. The chase was on and Ray was really getting irritated, so he decided to get his gun and shoot at them. Then suddenly, to their surprise, a portal reopened and out came Johnny and his friends as Moreau jumped out his bike and in slow motion shot bullets at the car and made it trip over so Ray couldn't catch the boy. Then they all fell down off the highway and onto the ground. Now Moreau landed on his feet, but for the others they hit the ground and went unconscious. When he saw them, he sure was shocked and surprised. No way. Johnny. And those creatures. I better get them somewhere safe. No use resting out here, Moreau said as he carried the unconscious bodies onto a wagon and attached it to the bike. With Johnny and the gang, they all woke up and groaned a little due to the impact they made with the ground. Then they saw that the cuts and scars they got were healing. They didn't know how, but they weren't asking questions. Then the door opened and revealed to be Moreau coming in, and was in relief seeing the team alive. Oh, thank God you guys are okay. I was really getting, Moreau said. But Johnny grabbed him by the jacket and threw him to a corner, and the ponies stared at him angry. Who are you? Johnny asked. Yeah. And how did you know that we're in trouble and hurt? Rainbow also asked. My name is Moreau. My brothers are dead, as should I be, if not for the intervention of God. And you and Johnny Blaze, Spike and the main six, also known as Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Applejack and Rarity. Oh, and I see you have a new recruit, Moreau explained. That recruit is my brother Shining Armor. And I don't know how you know our names, but I can tell that you want to use us for Rourke's evil deeds, Twilight accused. No, I'm not using you. I just met you and you're accusing me? Some hospitality, Moreau said. Go away, Johnny said as he released him and went to pack his stuff. I can't do that. Moreau said as he sipped down some liquor and threw the bottle at a window, shattering it. It likes the dark places. We don't know what you're talking about, Johnny said as he continued packing. Yeah. You're a crazy nutcase who drinks all day. Now we need to get going, Applejack replied. I'm not crazy, Applejack. And I know exactly what I'm talking about. The Rider, the Hell Dragon and the Sinister Six. Moreau started to explain, getting everyone's attention. You thought that you all can control it? Make it work for you, huh? That you all were stronger than this deep, hungry thing? This sickness. Then Johnny grabbed his chain and caught him, and Rainbow threw him on the ground. Why are you here? What do you want from us? Our magic. Rainbow yelled. No, Rainbow. I don't want your magic. Listen, please, let me go and I will tell you what I do want. But it is not your magic or the elements of harmony, Moreau begged. Rainbow. Johnny. Let him go, Twilight said. After the two of them calmed down, Johnny took the chain and got it off him, and Rainbow helped him up and got the dirt off him. She then flew to regroup with the rest of her friends. Sorry about that, Moreau. Rainbow had a bad experience trusting someone before and it did not end well. Shining apologized. It's fine. At least you have a good heart. Just like your sister, Moreau said, and Twilight smiled at his compliment. Anyways, I need your help and you kids need your souls. So we can make a deal. You know about making deals, don't you, Johnny? Also, nice bike. Thanks, but the last time we made a deal it did not end good, Johnny said. He's right, darling, it was devastating. Rarity agreed. But we are willing to help. Good, Moreau said as he took out a photo. This child. He is in danger and for more than his life. Also, they taken a pink horse that has wings and a horn and was not in a good place. You need to save them. Wait. Did you say a pink horse with wings and horn? Spike asked. Yes. Some real bad people got her and they want the boy, Moreau answered. Well, she's not a horse. She's an acorn, and that is my wife Cadance. And Twilight's old foal sitter and sister-in-law. You saw them take her? Shining said. Yes. That's why I need you guys to help me track those assholes down and save those two, Moreau answered. I don't save people. Even though I did save Celestia from Blackheart, Johnny admitted. Technically, Johnny, that's considered saving people, Spike reasoned. Dragon Boy is right. What do you think brought you all here, guys? Thousands of miles from your place of birth and your home in another dimension and your dark rebirth. You were all brought here for this, Moreau replied. Johnny looked at the picture and so did the ponies and Spike. What's the boy's name, if you don't mind us asking? Fluttershy asked. His name is Danny. And the pony, Shining said, is known as Cadance, Moreau replied. Yes. That's right, Shining said. So this little kid. What makes you think that we can find him and Cadance? Johnny wondered. Because I'm willing to do something in return. That man that you met years ago that put the curse on you and your friends, Moreau started. Wait. How do you know about Mephistopheles? Twilight asked. The devil has many names. And he has lots of different demons that don't obey his orders. Like Rourke. He is the link that connects you to this child. Let the Rider, the Hell Dragon and the Sinister Six follow his stench. It will lead you all to the boy, Moreau finished. Okay then. But you said something about a deal you wanted to do in return, Johnny added. Oh, right, that. See, the church of my masters happens to be an ancient one. And we are prepared to give you all the one thing you desire most of this world. So here's the deal. Save the boy and Cadance and we will lift you all from the curse, Moreau replied. The gang all thought about it long and hard. Ultimately they did wanted to be free from this hellish curse and get their lives back. So they faced Moro and gave him their answer. Okay Moro. You have a deal. We'll do it. Shining said. He shook his hand and so did the others. Then they all got ready as they headed off to complete their task. Chapter 3 The rider team assembled and trouble brewing. Somewhere in Eastern Europe was a little village and we see Nadia with her son in a restaurant trying to enjoy a meal. She was staring at a man in a business suit and he noticed her staring at him. So he decided to sit with her in hopes of getting some answers from that. Hi. I noticed that you were staring at me. He said. Oh, was I? Nadia asked. So the two was starting to have a conversation and it was a little weird cause she obviously did not know this man at all. And I think it might be better if she didn't. Cause I think that's Rourke. Anyways they continued talking till Danny returned back. Then the man in the business suit felt a little embarrassed and decided to leave. But Danny secretly stole his wallet and his mother winked and they left the restaurant. They went back to the car and were about to leave. But unknown to them was Ray and his cronies watching them. Back in the car Danny and Nadia were ready to go. Somebody's got a lot of explaining to do. Danny said. We won't always have to do this. Okay. I wanna make a life for you. Nadia replied. This is a life. Danny reasoned. Nadia smiled and kissed him on the head. I love you more than anything in the world. I love you too mama. Danny said. And so the two drove off. But then Ray started to follow them. Back with Johnny and friends nighttime was rolling in and they started to feel the pressure of someone in danger and groaned because they knew that the rider and his team known as the Sinister Six were starting to take over. Then suddenly they couldn't contain it any longer and they turned into the Ghost Rider, the Hell Dragon and the Sinister Six. Even Shining gained a Ghost Rider form. And Moro heard all that screaming and went over to see if his friends were okay. But when he got there the building exploded and out the riders went to track down the sinners. Moro saw all of that and knew what was going on. Back with Nadia and Danny she told her son to stay in the car and lock the doors. He obeyed and stayed in there. She went out and looked around to see where the crooks were. Then suddenly she got tackled by Ray's goons and Danny freaked out. Then suddenly the leader Ray himself got out of the car and went to her. Nadia. It's been a long time, pumpkin. Ray said. Carry Gian. Nadia said. I see you're still an unbelievable pain in the ass. Ray replied. Look, I don't have time to deal with you. I got people after Danny and me. So just let me go. Let me go. Nadia begged. Babe. You don't fully understand. I'm the people after you. Ray corrected. Nadia couldn't believe that this whole time he was the one after her. And when things couldn't get worse one of the goons grabbed her son as he tried fighting his way out but the crook gained the upper hand. Then Nadia unleashed her inner warrior and tried fighting to rescue Danny and she too was outnumbered and fell to the ground. Ray could only chuckle at that. Unbelievable. Still the fighter? Ray smirked. Carry Gian. Yes. What is it? Ray asked. Please. He's my son. Let him go. Nadia begged. Oh, I know that. But he's not mine. And part of you had to know that it might end up like this. Ray said. Ray then took out his gun and when he was about to shoot her he along with his goons all hear some noises. Then an explosion was heard and out came all the riders on their bikes and they landed in front of the bad guys. They all stepped off and were ready for a fight as the thugs quaked in fear. All right shithead. Surrender now or face the wrath of all the riders. Rider Rainbow replied. What the hell are those things? A thug shouted. I don't care what they are. Kill them. Ray ordered. Then the thugs started shooting them but they felt no pain. Then the Ghost Rider unleashed his chain and killed two of them in an instant. Then Spike went to a third thug and breathed hellfire melting his skin as he screamed in pain. The other two could only watch in horror as this happened. Then Ghost Rider charged at the fourth thug and grabbed him by the throat as he can only stare in horror. "I feel hungry. Hungry for your soul," Ghost Rider yelled. He then started to make the thug feel true fear as he felt a burning sensation in his gut. But while he was doing this, Ray told one of his men to get the slug throwers. And as soon as a drop of Danny's blood fell on a rock, the Ghost Rider exploded the previous goon and ran to the next two and fought them. Then the Sinister Six, Spike and Shining, helped him out and killed the other goons. Then Ray and his henchmen finally got the slug throwers and blasted the riders as it sent them flying and crashed into a car. But it wasn't enough to keep them down. Ray reloaded, and as the riders recovered, he had one final thing to say. "Get some," Ray said. He fired at them, and once it made impact, the car exploded. Then they grabbed the boy and forced him in the car. "Move. Now. Get him in the car," Ray ordered. They got him in and they drove off, leaving Nadia on the ground to rot. Then everything went black. The bad guys may have gotten away this time, but next time the riders will come back stronger and will find them and rescue Danny and Cadence. But they may need a little extra help from someone in order to complete that task. Chapter 4: Meeting Nadia and Danny bonds with Cadence. Johnny, Spike, Shining Armor, and the girls all slowly woke up and looked at their surroundings. They can see that they have been attached to some monitors and have some liquid pumping in them. From what they can tell is that they were in a hospital of some sort. Now how they ended up in a hospital was beyond them. But they were glad they weren't left on the ground outside. "Ow! I feel like I was bashed by an elephant," Rainbow groaned. "Well, that creep must have used some kind of weapon that was stronger to knock us out. He may have gotten away this time, but we still need to rescue Danny and Cadence," Twilight said. Then after she said that, a nurse arrived. "Oh, you all have awake," she said. "Hi. It's funny, because when you walked in I thought I was still dreaming," Johnny said. "You have hallucinate?" she asked. No man, I'm not hallucinating. Look, I'm flirting with you. You're beautiful," Johnny answered. "Johnny. Now is clearly not the time to joke around like this. We need to get back out there and find that fucker that has Danny and Cadence," Shining reminded him. "I know that," Johnny replied, then faced the nurse. "Morphine. You got any morphine?" "Oh, no, morphine, you already have," the nurse said. "Dilaudid, Valium." "What?" Johnny asked. "Your wound's very weird, Misters and Misses. The polite want to talk to you when you wake up. I tell them you wake," the nurse said. "No. Please don't," Johnny said as she left. "Is that lady brain dead or something? I am not dealing with the police again. Especially after what happened last time when Blackheart was running around," Rainbow replied. "Rainbow. I get we don't want to deal with the police. Let's just get out of here and track down Ray," Twilight said. Now that was something Johnny can agree on. So he and the gang all got out of their beds and quickly grabbed some meds so their bodies can heal. Then they walked out of the hospital, but not till after they saw Nadia. They had a feeling that they all seen her before. She walked away, but then Johnny remembered that she was the mother of Danny. So they decided to follow her to see if they can get some answers. Somewhere on the mountains was Ray and his henchmen. They dragged both Danny and Cadence to the ground as they groaned in pain. Then Danny looked at her. "Who are you?" Danny asked. "I'm Cadence. The Princess of Love, ruler of the Crystal Empire and the wife of Shining Armor," Cadence answered. "I'm Danny. But how did you get here?" Danny wondered. "It's a long story. But I will say that I'm not in a happy place right now," Cadence said. "Hey. Both of you shut up," Ray yelled. We then cut to a train station where we see Rourke walking to where he needs to be and heard his phone ring. He then picked it up and answered it. Carrigan. Rourke said. I got your packages, but the cost of doing business with me just went up. Ray said. I don't understand. Rourke replied. What do you mean you don't understand? I want more. You understand that? Ray asked. We have an agreement, Carrigan. Rourke reminded him. Changing the defined terms of an agreement is something we just don't do. You told me to get a kid and a pony. Not a problem. I've done that for people before. And I have history with his bitch of a mom, so there's no better guy for the job. But what you didn't tell me is that I'd be walking into the middle of a goddamn horror movie. Ray said. Rourke can only laugh at that. But Ray was annoyed. Oh, you think that's funny to you? 4 of my guys got turned into matchsticks last night by a dude, a dragon, and some gals on motorcycles whose heads were on fire. Ray explained. Now that caught Rourke's attention as he prepared to listen. Come again. You heard me. I've seen things, weird things, bad things. But those things last night? No. I ain't bullshitting you. Ray explained. Put the boy and pony on the phone. Rourke ordered. Ray nodded and went to them. He placed the phone on their ears and commanded them. You two. Talk. Ray ordered. Danny. Cadence, do you hear me? Rourke asked. I want you two to listen over closely. Listen to me. I will never listen to what you have to say. All I want is for you and your henchmen to let me and Danny go. Cadence growled. He ignored her and spoke in a demonic language. Then suddenly Danny couldn't take it any more of that talk and yelled, making Ray drop the phone, make him and Cadence fall unconscious and his cronies back up in fear. Then Ray grabbed the phone and wiped off the dirt. What the hell was that? Ray asked. Think of the child and pony as a sort of computer. You know computers, right? I just uploaded a little program. A firewall. Our friends on the motorcycles won't be able to sense them now, to track them. Of course, they still may be able to find you, so I suggest you keep moving. Rourke said as he ended the call. Ray tried answering back, but he wasn't there. That irritated the hell out of him and had him throw a temper tantrum. Then we flash back to Johnny and the gang as they all felt that. Then they decided to follow the lady so that way they could get some answers in hopes to find Danny and Cadence. But suddenly when they thought that they lost her, she appeared and aimed a gun at them. Who sent you all to find me? Is it the devil? The devil that walks among men? Does the devil own all of you? Answer me. She yelled. Whoa, easy lady. We ain't working for him. We just wanted to see if you needed help. Rainbow said in defense. She's right. The kid, Danny. He's your son. Johnny asked. Bullets can't hurt you all when you walk with the demons. But they'll do what they're supposed to right now. Tell me why I should trust you all. She threatened. Ma'am, please. Put the gun away and we will tell you. Rarity said, and she put the gun away. Now I know it's tough, right, and we know you can't. But there's this creep named Ray who took Danny and also Shining's wife Cadence. If we don't find them, and we'll never forgive ourselves and we be soon as dead. So if you wanna pull the trigger, do it. Johnny said as he grabbed her wrist and had the gun at his forehead. Are you crazy? You can't seriously want that. Applejack said. Then Nadia realized that when she heard that name Ray, she immediately backed off and looked at the group again. You said something about Ray having Danny and this Cadence. I know him. His full name is Ray Carrigan. And he's bad news. You all managed to track him down last night. Can you all do that again? Nadia asked. We could feel him before. We could sense him and then nothing. And before you get the wrong idea, no, your son isn't dead. He's just blocked. But you know something? Johnny said. Rourke must have done something to block his presence. Ma'am, if you wish to see him again then you have to let us help find him. Twilight said. Nadia didn't want anyone to help. But the more she thought about it, she was almost killed last night. So ultimately she decided it was better to take their help. All right. You convinced me. You seem like a nice group. The name's Nadia, by the way. Come. We better get going, she said. So she led the way as everyone followed her. Then we cut to them all on the road in a truck with Johnny's bike chained onto the back. Yeah, okay, well, let me just get something straight. Ray, the guy who kidnapped Danny and my wife Cadence and tried to kill you and blew us up with grenades, but you two were like boyfriend, girlfriend? Shining asked. Well, somewhat. But Kerrigan was a gun runner, a drug dealer, a mercenary. I didn't care about that. I just saw a ticket out. Nadia started. Yeah, okay. And Danny is like. Spike continued. Danny, what, is Kerrigan's son? No, he's not. Nadia finished. Honestly, darling. Why be with that horrid man? Rarity wondered. I wasn't with him. Also, when you guys met the seducer, he offered you something. Nadia said. Yeah. He offered Johnny's dad's life. But shocker, he flat out lied to us. Pinky said. No kidding. But for me, it was only myself. It was supposed to be big for Kerrigan, but it went bad. I made it out of a third-floor window. I was choking on my own blood. I knew I was gonna die. I could feel it. And that's when he found me. Nadia explained as a flashback played. Rourke. He must have offered you something too. Like how he offered to cure the cancer and reveal Blackheart. Twilight realized. Yes. He promised to take the pain away to save my life. But then he asked for something in return. Nadia explained. A son. Fluttershy answered. Maybe you can never understand. Like I don't know who this Blackheart guy is. Nadia replied. No, we get it. You're the devil's baby mama. And I guess that explains why Moreau wants Danny so bad. Johnny said. And as for Blackheart, he was the son of the devil that kidnapped Celestia and tried getting the contract of San Venganza. He almost succeeded with his plan, but we managed to send that idiot back to the underworld. Rainbow explained. Moreau. Nadia said. Yeah. Black, French, alcoholic priest, kinda of a dick. Know him? Johnny wondered. He tried to help us. I didn't let him. Nadia said. Well, considering we're all after the same thing, I suggest we work on our decision making. So where are we heading to? Twilight asked. Someone I know. He does Kerrigan's dirty work. He'll know where to find him. Nadia explained. So they continued riding to the location to track down the guy Nadia knows in order to locate where Ray Kerrigan is. As they did that, Johnny explained why the devil uses his greatest power on Earth to live. The power of the deal. They really need to help Nadia save Danny. And they need Cadance back. Chapter 5. Danny and Cadance escape and answers. In the heat of the night was Ray and his henchmen driving to their next destination. Danny and Cadance were secretly planning a way to escape, so that way they'll be able to give the riders some time to track them down and kill the bad guys. Can we open a window? Danny asked. Ray got annoyed. You think you can just talk? And you know your mom, though, she could just talk, until I kicked her in her little gypsy face in. You are a horrible being. You're the real asshole here. Cadance said in anger. Oh, you're one to talk. When we get to our location, I will beat the shit out of you and you'll maybe think twice about what you say. Ray threatened. Danny couldn't take it anymore and grabbed the wheel, making them lose control of the car. Then they crashed and the car flipped over. That allowed Danny and Cadance to escape and ran as fast as they could to get away from Ray Kerrigan and his henchmen. but Ray managed to get out and started chasing them down. The two ran fast trying to lose them so they don't have to be in a bad state anymore. Danny and Cadance hid behind a rock wall, but Danny snapped his ankle as he screamed in pain. "Danny! Are you okay?" Cadance worried. "No. My ankle is broken. I can't go much further," Danny cried. "Then we gotta hide somewhere." "Hey Danny. When this whole mess is over, would you and your mother like to live in Equestria where you don't have to deal with this?" Cadance offered. "Yeah. I like that. Is this Equestria more peaceful?" Danny wondered. "Yes it is. But let's get away from Ray Carrigan before he finds us again," Cadance said. Too late. Danny feared. He pointed in front of them, seeing Ray Carrigan, and boy, he was angry as hell. He then grabbed the two and made them stare in the face. "Try that again, you little turds," Ray said, but stopped when he saw two people talking to him. "What? Dude, what happened?" the man asked in a different language. "You speak English?" Ray asked. "Yeah dude, what happened?" the man asked again. "Is that your van?" Ray wondered. "Yeah. Does it run?" Ray said. "Yeah." Then suddenly they saw the guns that they carried and they realized that they were bad dudes. We cut to them in the stolen van continuing their way to the destination. Then Cadance decided that she had enough of Ray and his henchmen. So using her magic, she silently made a shape of them tried up so Ray wouldn't know the difference, and then she poofed both her and Danny out of the van, and it did make a little sound. "What the hell was that?" Ray asked. "Relax boss. It was probably rats." "Who cares?" a henchman said. Then at an unknown location they reappeared and Cadance healed Danny's injured ankle. "You okay now sweetie?" Cadance asked. "Yeah. Thank you." Danny smiled. "You're welcome. Now we better lie in wait till your mother comes," Cadance said, but suddenly another henchman came and tied them in a rope. Back with Johnny, Nadia, Shining, Spike and the girls, they were still riding in the heat of the night heading to where she knows someone that does Ray Carrigan's dirty work. "When we get where we're going, the Riders, the Hell Dragon and the Sinister Six will come out. And when they do, they will destroy whoever's got it coming. Nadia, these things, there's no reason, no conscience, just hunger. In their eyes you're no different than Carrigan. You're no different than any of them," Johnny explained. "He's right Nadia. And they only attack the bad people. So please don't be scared if they accidentally hurt you," Fluttershy hoped. "I'm not afraid of you all," Nadia replied. "Yeah? Well, you should be," Rainbow warned. The gang all finally arrived at the location. It was some sort of a gladiator pit with loads of people inside. Then watching from upstairs was Johnny and his crew, keeping their eyes on someone that they can assume that he was the guy that Nadia knew. "That's the guy. He looks like he works on a cruise ship," Johnny said. "Johnny, can you please not compliment every time we encounter a bad guy?" Rarity asked. "Am I gonna regret taking all of you?" Nadia asked. "Yeah, probably," Johnny admitted. Then we cut to the man wanting his crew to count every single dollar and told him to make sure that no one robs him again. And as he went out to have a smoke, he encountered Nadia with Johnny and his crew as he grabbed him by the neck and slammed him against the wall. "Hello Vasil," Nadia said. "Long time no see Nadia. You look good. And I see you recruited some new friends," Vasil said. "Shut up," Johnny said. "All right Vasil. Nadia knows you done Ray Carrigan's dirty work. Now you're gonna spill the goods," Rainbow replied. Nadia grabbed his phone and looked at the calls he had earlier. He's been talking to Carrigan. The last couple of days and a few hours ago. Johnny was struggling to keep the rider inside him under control, but it was a losing battle. "All right Vasil. You talked to Kerrigan? Shining asked. I talked to a lot of people. I got what you need for the shakes, my friends. Vasil said. What kind of shakes? Vanilla, chocolate. Pinky said. Pinky. Not an appropriate time right now. Twilight said. Listen, Vasil. Kerrigan must have told you about the things that killed his men last night. Yeah. Those things are inside of us. See, we happen to know that you're a bad man, and these things, the riders, the Hell Dragon and the Sinister Six, they feed on bad men. And they're hungry. They're hungrier than they've been in years. That's why we're shaking. Because right now the only thing standing between you and the riders is us. And he's just there, she then groaned as Nadia watched. They're scraping at the door. Scraping at the door. So if you don't tell us what we want to know, we're gonna let them out. And when they're done with you, there won't be anything left, do you understand? Okay. Okay. I understand completely. Vasil quaked. Good. Now where's Kerrigan? He has Nadia's son Danny and my wife Cadance. Shining asked. He didn't answer and Spike got pissed and started punching him. The kid and Cadance. The kid and Cadance that Kerrigan has. Where is he? Tell us now or I'll eat out your stinking soul. Okay. Okay. I'll tell you. Just don't hurt me. He's at the quarry. For more guns, more men. He's putting together a goddamn army. And as for Cadance, you speak of, Ray planned on delivering her to the leader of the operation along with the kid. That's all I know, I swear. Vasil cried. Applejack looked in his eyes and saw no lie. It's true. Applejack said. And I happen to know that place. Nadia said. Well, we know where he is. But we just need to find it. Rainbow said. Then Johnny grabbed Vasil by the throat again. You won't mention this conversation to anyone. No, I swear. Vasil said. Yeah. All right, well, that was a good answer. Because if you try to expose us, we will find you. Applejack threatened. Then suddenly more thugs were coming their way and Johnny and his crew fought them all. And then Shining told Nadia that they need to get going and head for the quarry. Then as they left the gladiator pit, they saw Johnny's bike changing. Then some smoke formed 8 more bikes and they all got on and rode at the fastest speeds. Then their transformations started to begin and the riders, the Hell Dragon and the Sinister Six all started taking control of the situation. Then suddenly their transformations were complete and the rider team was now assembled to hunt down Kerrigan and his men. Chapter 6: The Rider Team vs. Ray Kerrigan. At the quarry we see lots of vehicles approaching. Each of them were full of food, weapons, and supplies, as well as we see the henchmen explaining what the weapons will do to Ray. Hey boss. What we have here is the FGM-148 Javelin. Lock on, fire and forget. He said as he took out another weapon. The American Bunker Buster. 2-stage detonation. The first creates a super vacuum. It sucks the oxygen out of the air. The next. I know what it does. But I do thank you for getting these. Now hand me 4 of them, with extra heads. Ray interrupted. How many men will you go up against? He asked. Quite a few actually. And some of them are really girls. Pain in asses, but they won't stand a chance after when we're done. Ray explained. He nodded and prepared to give him what he asked for. With Danny and Cadance they were still tied up after the henchmen caught them in the act and got them. Then suddenly to their rescue was Nadia and she proceeded to untie them and she hugged her son. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get you out of here. And who's that with you? Nadia asked. This is Cadance. Apparently the guys were also after her too. We can't leave her here. And besides, she's my friend. Danny explained. Cadance smiled and Nadia got her untied too and they tried to escape. But then suddenly a henchman arrived. But when he was about to do something, they all heard a eerie echo and a few motorcycles. The guy instantly knew what was making those sounds and was a little scared. Oh no! Nadia then tried to stab him, but he ended up catching the knife. But she had a trick up her sleeve and got him in the face. Then she went to the two and carried them out before more of Ray's goons came in. Now with Ray, he heard the noises and instantly knew that he had to stop them. Showtime! He smirked. He then got all his henchmen in position and Ray was handed over a rocket launcher. He then launched one and it exploded. When he thought he got them, that smile was quickly wiped off his face as he now came face to face with the riders. Ray! Your time is up. Now we will turn you into a fillet. Rider Shining said. Oh, you want a piece of me? Well, bring it on. Boys! Kill them! Ray yelled. They obeyed his commands and all the riders charged into battle. Ghost Rider took out his chain and killed 3 guys, turning them into ashes. Then Spike charged at a 4th thug as he screamed in terror, only for Spike to burn him alive in hellfire. The 5th tried running away, but Fluttershy and Rainbow stopped him in his tracks and they threw 2 balls of fire into his face. Another one was scared when Ghost Rider got in his face and tried shooting bullets at him. But that didn't do any good as he vomited them back in his face. Then the riders all jumped on Ray. But he launched another rocket and they were sent flying and they exploded on the ground. I'm sorry, did that hurt? It looked like it did. Ray mocked. Rainbow got so pissed that she threw a huge ball of hellfire at Ray and it burned his face as he screamed in serious pain. Then the riders all climbed to the control panel of the excavator. Of course more bad guys were shooting them, but it wasn't harming them. And once they got inside the control panel, that's when the real fun started. They all turned the machine into a hellfire excavator and they started leaving a trail of destruction and making all of the bad guys flee in pure terror. Then Nadia escorted Danny and Cadance out of the quarry before more guys tried to catch them. And no matter what Ray and his goons try, they all ended up defeated. Ray was all bruised and hurt, and when he was about to shoot Nadia and the duo, a chain wrapped around his leg as Ghost Rider pulled him towards the group. Sorry. Did that hurt? It looks like it did. Ghost Rider mimicked. Now you know what karma feels like, asshole. Rider Rarity said. What are you waiting for? If you're gonna kill me, then do it. Ray shouted. Then suddenly they all felt the presence of Nadia and Danny along with Cadance leaving. Then Ghost Rider threw him into a wall and a huge concrete block crushed his body, instantly killing him. Then the riders all at once hopped on their bikes and began going after them. Then Danny felt their presence. They're coming, Danny said. And sure enough, he was right. The riders, the Hell Dragon and the Sinister Six were all riding after them. Then suddenly they appeared on the right side of the truck and Ghost Rider pulled Nadia out, and for some reason the truck stopped. Ghost Rider gave Nadia to Shining and he prepared for using the rider's greatest weapon. But Cadance and Danny came out to try and convince him not to. Shining, please stop. Nadia isn't the threat. You already dealt with Kerrigan. Please. Cadance cried. Shining and all the other riders gently placed her down and went to her and Danny. Then suddenly, no longer being in the presence of evil, they started to turn back to normal, and when Shining came face to with his wife again, he cried and hugged her tightly. I'm sorry, Cadance. I'm so sorry. Shining cried. SHH. It's okay. I'm here. And I appreciate you saving me from that Kerrigan creep. Cadance smiled. And girls, I'm glad you helped Shining stop him. Oh, and this is Danny. He's my new friend. Well, howdy there, Danny. Applejack greeted. So you're Danny, the boy we needed to rescue? Twilight said. The one and only. Though I sure was not expecting a bunch of ponies and a giant lizard to kill Kerrigan. But considering that Cadance is one of you, I'm willing to believe it. Danny admitted. Hey. Spike spoke loudly. I'm a dragon. Dragon. Not lizard. I don't do that tongue thing. To emphasize, Spike stuck out his forked tongue which flickered a bit before huffing and crossing his arms. This made Pinkie Pie laugh. Don't you just love references? Pinkie giggled. Okay, dragon, not lizard. Gotcha. And this blue hair pony? You know him? Danny asked. He's my husband. Shining Armor is his name. We love to stay here and chat, but this Rourke that Kerrigan was talking to will no doubt be hunting us. We need to go. Cadance answered. So that happened? Johnny said. Everyone all agreed and hopped in the truck. Then they rode off to somewhere that Rourke wouldn't find them, hopefully. But watching from the shadows was Mephistopheles, and he seemed impressed with how the band did against Kerrigan. Impressive use of strength. But they will need an upgrade in order to kill Rourke and soon his demon blackout. Danny will give them that upgrade so they can be the Riders, Hell Dragon, and the Sinister Six not only at night but also in the day. Good luck, bounty hunters. Mephistopheles said. Then he slammed his cane as a wave of power was activated. More specifically towards Danny. They will need that upgrade to take out Rourke when they face him real soon. Chapter 7: A Bond of a Boy and the Ponies and Blackout Rises. At a local diner and truck stop we see the girls and Johnny getting some food after all that chaos from last night. Especially when they had to kill Kerrigan. Johnny finished getting a meal for Danny and passed the tray to him. Then they all sat down with Danny and they tried to bond with him so that way they can understand and get to know him. Here you go, Danny. Johnny said. Then he rubbed his head. It was a bee. I thought it was gonna sting your face. Well, are you feeling better? I see your legs all healed, huh? Like all by itself. That's weird. Where's my mom? Danny asked. She's gassing up the truck. I know that it's a little awkward. Me and my friends with you guys. I mean, after everything that you've been through. Johnny answered. Dude. You're all probably way cooler than the guys she usually hangs out with. Danny smiled. Well, thank you, darling, but we faced many dangers back home in Equestria before facing this here. Rarity said. Really? What kinds of dangers? Danny wondered. Well, there was this one time that an evil changeling queen named Chrysalis tried to take over by disguising herself as me and also ruin my wedding to Shining Armor. Cadance started. You took down an evil queen that tried ruining your wedding? That's sick. Danny said. I know, but Twilight knew her behavior all the time. And then came the time where King Sombra, a unicorn whose heart is black as night, returned and tried covering our beloved Crystal Empire in darkness. If he succeeded at that, then all hope would have been lost. Shining added. Whoa. Stopping an evil king from taking an empire from you. I know I haven't seen this Chrysalis or Sombra, but if they seen the way you were back at the quarry, I can imagine them peeing in their pants and quaking in fear. Danny joked. Well, we ponies don't normally wear clothes, but from your point of view we totally understand. Twilight said as Nadia returned. So what next? Nadia asked. Well, Moro said that the danger will pass in a few days. If we can just get Danny and Cadance someplace safe, a holy place, where his people can protect us, then we can ride it out. Johnny answered. I would suggest Danny can live with us in Equestria once we deal with this whole thing. But even if we did go home, there's no doubt that Rourke will find us. Cadance added. Don't worry. I've already contacted Moro. He's gonna catch up with us on the road. But we gotta move fast because the ones who are hunting us, they're not done. Plus, I have some personal issues I'd kind of like to get fixed. Johnny said. Everyone nodded in agreement and prepared to head out the door. At the quarry there were many emergency vehicles and officers there to clean up all the chaos that happened. Underneath that concrete block was Ray Kerrigan, and boy, he is in bad shape. You're not done, Kerrigan. You were expected to bring Nadia's son. I'd expect you to fulfill your obligation. Rourke said. Sorry jackass, but those guys literally killed my ass. Therefore I'm dead. Kerrigan said weakly. Inconvenient. Rourke snarked. Then suddenly Rourke went to his corpse and placed his hand on his soul, and Ray started to change. He began to shake a little and his skin started decaying as he went under the concrete block. Then Rourke lifted the block off him and Ray was now a demon with decayed skin and white hair. He was revived as Blackout, a demon who decays everything he touches. What did you do to me? He asked. I gave you a second chance. You're a little less than alive now. But also more. Rourke said as he threw a piece of wood to him and it decayed. You see, I've given you power. The power of decay. Of darkness. He liked what Rourke said and decided to try it out. So he went to an officer and placed his hands on him and rotted his body until he was completely decayed. Then he faced Rourke once more. I want that boy and pony, Kerrigan. And this time you have no excuses. Rourke demanded. Oh, I'll find them. And nothing will stop me this time. Blackout said. Back on the road we see Johnny, Danny, and the girls on the back bonding while keeping a lookout for Moreau. Hey. The machine from last night? You made it change. Danny realized. Yeah. That's how it works. Whatever he rides it changes. Johnny answered. And what if he took a taxi? Or a roller coaster or a ski lift or a camel or a Danny asked. Dude. I think you get the point. Anything that the Ghost Rider gets on and rides it will change. Rainbow interrupted. Wait. What if you have to pee while you're on fire? Danny asked. That is a weird question, man. Spike said. Actually it isn't. It's awesome. It's like a flamethrower, you know? It's like Johnny said as he acted like he was using an actual flamethrower and we see Ghost Rider actually taking a piss. When that ended Danny chuckled a little and Johnny sat down. Then he looked at the ponies and dragon. Did you girls really change into riders too? When he changes, when he's him, does it feel good? Danny asked. Well, sometimes, Danny. But to us it's like a curse. Twilight answered. What does it mean? Are we just bad? Danny wondered. Oh no, Danny. This power that we have comes from a dark place, but it's not who we are. It never will be. And we can use it to do good, to help people. Like we're helping you and your mom. Johnny explained. I know why you're all helping us. She told me that you want to get rid of it. But I can't ever do that. Danny said. The girls felt bad about Danny, but if they ever want to hear home they have to get Danny somewhere safe. Then right on cue Moreau came in front of them and smiled. The gang was pleased to see him. Hey Nadia. I hope you're finished shooting at me. Moreau said. She joked, pretending to shoot him, and then Johnny had an idea. Hey. You wanna have some fun? Johnny asked. He got his answer as Danny took a little spin on his motorcycle and doing all sorts of cool tricks. Even the girls were watching all the action and were so happy to see Danny actually having a little fun instead of just running away from the thugs. But on the other side we see an ambulance riding on the road and turns out it was Blackout driving it. And every time he touches something it would decay, and of course it did. That is so weird. But who cares? I'm gonna catch those bitches and rot them down. Blackout said. Then he continued on driving. Kerrigan is back and he now has a dark power. Chapter 8: The Secret Church and the Truth About the Ghost Rider. Deep within the mountains we see the crew heading to where Moreau was leading them. So far they see nothing but sand and rocks all over the place. But then suddenly they came to a place that was built in the mountains and has been kept a secret for over thousands of years. This was without a doubt the secret church that Moreau mentioned to Johnny back when he first met him and the girls. Then a trio of priests with writing on their faces came, and when they saw the crew they smiled and took off their hoods. Moreau then was greeted by one of the priests and gave him a hug. He then saw the group behind him. You all shouldn't be afraid. It was God that led you all here. One of them said. Thank you, sir. Though what is with the writing on your face? Rainbow wondered. I know what you're thinking, Rainbow. A little uptight. But they're all not so bad once you get to know them. Now go on. Moreau said to Nadia and Danny. They will take good care of you. What about you guys? Nadia asked. We will join you later. We have some business to complete between us. I did make a promise to Johnny and his friends. Moreau answered. Nadia nodded and she and Danny went with his priest brothers to a room. But Danny didn't want to go because he wanted Johnny and his friends coming. Then Johnny explained why. It's because that now he's safe, the only thing that can hurt him is Johnny. So therefore he understands and went with his mom along with Moreau's people. Then he led Johnny and the others to a place in the mountain church. So where are we going, Moreau? Twilight asked. To my favorite room. If there is one thing these sons of bitches know, it's wine. Moreau answered. They arrived in the wine room and saw all kinds of wines that aged for over thousands or millions of years. Then he took one out. This bottle would fetch 50,000 euros at an auction. Moreau said. Moreau. Listen, we need to know what this thing is inside of Johnny. We wish to know before we commerce. Cadance said. He nodded and prepared to tell everyone about the curse that Johnny carries. Very well. This thing inside Johnny is known as Zarathus. You see, girls, Zarathus is an angel, known as the spirit of justice, that was created and sent by God to protect the innocent on earth. However, he was tricked and captured by demons who brought him down to hell, where he was corrupted and tortured with visions of humanity's depravity until he was driven insane. His mission to protect the innocent was perverted into a lust to punish the guilty. He then became the demonic entity known as the Spirit of Vengeance. Moreau explained. Okay. But the angel, the Spirit of Justice, is he alive in there? Somewhere. Rarity asked. Oh, he could be. Do you all feel him? Moreau asked. No. Johnny answered. Don't worry, guys. Cheer up. Soon you will all be free from this. And get this. This bottle, this one is over 2,000 years old. I've had my eye on it for a while. When all this is over, we will share a drink together. Moreau said. There's something else. What is it? Shining asked. This thing that Rourke has done to you and your friends is not easily undone. You risk death. Worse than death. If you wish to be freed, then you must confess the one thing that is most difficult for you all to talk about. Moreau explained. Johnny and his friends knew that he was right. So he needed to confess about his father. My dad. I didn't do it for him. I made the deal for me. I couldn't let him go. To me it was selfish. He was ready to die. He knew it was his time. And I thought that I could change that. I'm sorry. Johnny confessed. Now that was pure honesty. Applejack said. The girls cried a little from Johnny's confession, and Moreau understand why he did it. Then he grabbed a loaf of bread and broke it in two and gave one half to him. This is the Lamb of God that takes away all the sin from the world. Happy are those that are receive him. You say that you're not worthy to receive him. Moreau said. Okay, that's good enough. Johnny said as Moreau tore off a piece of bread, and Johnny got it and ate it. You've been carrying this bread around for a while. Let God carry you all into the eternal life. Cadance will stay with me till you are freed. That is, Johnny and you girls, if today is, in fact, your last. Wherever you go now I cannot follow. Are you ready? Moreau asked. With one nod from Twilight, Johnny and all the others headed to an underground place. Then once in the room the entrance closed and they all looked around to see if anyone was there. When suddenly a bright light shined the room and the crew all started to laugh like crazy and yell in pain. During that time the girls felt the same pain and torture, and they felt the power of the riders leaving them. Then everything went black. When they all woke up they no longer felt the curse inside them. They cheered as they now can head home. They all looked around for Moreau to thank him for freeing them from the curse. But suddenly they looked around, seeing that the mountain church was empty. Then suddenly they heard some screaming coming from inside. Cadence. She's in trouble. Shining feared. Come on girls. We gotta find Nadia, Danny, and Cadence now. Twilight declared. Running in the direction of the scream, they knew that there was something more going on. Chapter 9: Betrayed and Blackout Strikes. They all continued looking around the mountain church for their friends. Then suddenly they saw the priests holding them and Moreau hostage, and then suddenly a few others grabbed them too. Hey! What's going on? Rainbow demanded. We thought you were helping us out. Why do you have our friends hostage? Twilight freaked. The gang all headed in front of the priests and tried getting them to let go, but they refused and they grabbed them. We're doing what needs to be done. The leader said. The day of the prophecy is tomorrow. We were to hold the boy until the danger passes. Moreau said. The danger will not pass, Moreau. As long as the boy exists, the power will always be inside him. The leader explained. You lied to us. You flat out lied to us. Applejack yelled. This child must be destroyed. And while we're at it, we should destroy this pony too. You might have protested while the child was being conceived. Now it is too late. Take them away until the thing is done. The leader replied. Everyone struggled to break free from their hold, but they refused to let them go. Moreau tried to reason, but they didn't listen. Danny's soul can still be saved. He is one of God's children. Moreau yelled. No. He is not. The leader declined. And he left to perform a ceremony to kill both Danny and Cadence. Two of the priests carried both of them to the ceremony circle, and they quaked in fear, ready to witness death. But then suddenly, before the leader could kill them with his sword, everything turned dark and Blackout came out and rotted his body away. Then he did the same thing on the others, and they screamed in fear as their skin rotted. Then we come back to reality when Blackout finished rotting the priests and he faced Danny and Cadence. Damn. Bet you're happy to see me. Blackout said. Carrigan? You look different than last time. Cadence asked. Long story toots. But enough about that shit. Cause you two are now coming with me. Oh, and I'm no longer Ray Carrigan. I'm now Blackout. He yelled and launched at them. After all that happened, we see the gang coming out, and Nadia looked around to see where her son and Cadence can be after all that chaos. Did Danny do this? Or Cadence? Nadia asked. No. She couldn't possibly do this. She never has the power to rot anything in her life. Twilight answered. She's right. Somebody got here before they could, Moreau said. Before they can kill them. Nadia finished. I looked around. There was no sign of them. Johnny said, coming to them. Whoever did this pretty much wanted them alive. Moreau said. I think we all have a pretty good idea who that would be, Moreau. It has to be Ray Carrigan. Johnny thought. I can't believe that he's still alive. Rourke must have given him a second chance as a demon. Rarity said. So now he's with Rourke. Some protectors you turned out to be. Nadia frowned. Nadia. We can't just play the blame game. We need to find out what Rourke has planned for them and stop it. Twilight declared. What exactly does Rourke have in mind for Danny and Cadence? What are his plans for his son and his vessel? Is he putting money away for college? What? Johnny asked. It is the day of the prophecy. As was the day Danny was conceived. The child must be in his 13th year before the rite can be performed on the dawn of winter. Moreau explained. The rite. Johnny realized. Yes. Rourke fathered the boy as a vessel, along with Cadance, as two containers for his power. The ritual will transform his essence, his soul, into the boy while Blackout possesses Cadance. After that there will be no more Danny or Cadance. Only Rourke and Blackout. Moreau explained. No. Nadia feared. I can't believe you didn't tell us this sooner, Moreau. Why the hell didn't you tell us this? Rainbow yelled. Hey. You all made a deal with him. All of you. Something I would never do. Moreau said in defense. You said that the prophecy had to happen at the dawn of a new day. So maybe there's still time. Do you know where Rourke has them? Johnny asked. I think so. Moreau answered. So what? Now you want to play hero? You all got what you wanted? Nadia said. Yes, we did. Thank you for holding up on your end of the bargain. Johnny replied. You're welcome. Moreau said. And you know what, Nadia? If we can spend our last day as free man and ponies without a curse over our heads, then yeah, we take it. But I promised Danny and Cadance they'd be safe. And if we walk away now, then all we're doing is trading one demon for another. So let's get going. Johnny said with confidence. Everyone nodded and knew that this mission isn't over and they will save Danny and Cadance one way or another. Somewhere in Uzak Turkey, we see the same ambulance pulling up to an abandoned pit, and Rourke came out while we see Blackout hop out of the ambulance with a cocky grin on his face. Was there ever any doubt? Blackout asked. Don't touch me. Cutting it a bit close, aren't we? Rourke asked back. Blackout didn't like hearing that and went to the back of the ambulance. Look, do you have any idea what I went through to get these two turds? He asked as he pulled out Danny and Cadance as they struggled to get loose. Look, the planets don't align for your pagan party until daybreak tomorrow. So get off my ass, because I'd say I'm ahead of schedule. He walked away from Rourke and he stared at them. Danny. Cadance. Do you both know who I am? Rourke asked. Well, I'm sure your mother told you a lot of things about me. What's the matter with your face? Danny asked. Rourke frowned and Blackout can only chuckle at that. Then they all carried both of them in the pit. Then we hear Moreau talking about the place. Let me get this straight. You're saying that they are held hostage in Uzak? Twilight asked. Yes. The farthest point from heaven. That is where the ritual is to take place, according to the prophecy, of course. Moreau answered. Of course. Nadia scoffed. Without the riders, the Hell Dragon and the Sinister Six, we stand very little chance against Rourke. Moreau said. I thought you were supposed to have faith. Johnny said. I do. But also, I think we should all have weapons. Guns and wine. Moreau replied. Wow. Those are some naughty priests. Rainbow smiled. Let's all load up and go kill those sons of bitches. I'm starting to like you again, Moreau. Nadia smiled and everyone started to gear up. Back in Uzak, Rourke was talking with Danny and Cadance. You're both probably wondering why I look at you that way. Rourke said. Think of a flamethrower. Danny then laughed. Is that funny? Okay. Try this. A flamethrower made out of papier-mâché. All that power. But try to use it, you burn up. This body I'm living in, it's weak, human. It's dying. It was never made to do the things that I can do. But you're only part human. You have all the power that I have inside you. Like father, like son. But this corporal form can wield the power without burning itself up. Rourke said. You won't get away with this. Twilight and her friends will stop you. Cadance growled. I don't think so. And to help you both relax, Rourke said as he injected some liquid in them, causing them to go unconscious. That will keep them sedated until the ceremony. With Johnny and his team they all arrived and climbed up the mountain, seeing that many people arrived for the ceremony. Rourke had soldiers in there, and with little time they need to act quick. Oh, this is not good. The ceremony is about to start. And Danny and Cadance are in trouble. Shining said. Which is why if we don't act quickly he'll have a new form, one more powerful than he's ever known. And a shadow will fall upon the earth. Moreau explained. Everyone put on their serious faces and came up with a plan to save Danny and Cadance and stop the ceremony before Rourke succeeds. Chapter 10: The Final Fight versus Rourke and Blackout. Night rolled in and all the people wore black cloaks. 2 soldiers carried the boys to the stage and Rourke raised them to get ready to perform the ceremony. Meanwhile, with Johnny and his team, they were on the lookout to see how many men were in the pit and how they were gonna reach them in time. There's too many men walking around here. How many are there? Twilight asked. Yeah. There's gotta be like dozens of them in the pit. Rainbow added. I'm afraid that you're right. There's 25 to 30 men. More inside. The ritual has already begun. Danny's and Cadence's soul will be lost forever at the break of dawn. This is when Rourke is at his weakest. Moreau said. Then the group noticed Nadia was upset and they went to her. Nadia? Are you okay? Johnny asked. I've made a lot of mistakes, Blaze. But Danny and Cadance. They are the 2 good things I ever did. Nadia said. Well, that being the case, we had better make sure they don't turn out to be the Antichrists. Johnny said. Johnny's right. We have to stop that horrible ceremony before things get worse. Rarity agreed. Everyone nodded in agreement and they all headed in the pit to stop this. In the pit we see Rourke and his crew performing an evil sacrifice on both Danny and Cadance. And Nadia managed to take out 2 soldiers that were walking around. With Johnny and the girls they were being careful so that they weren't spotted. Okay, Moreau. What's the plan? Applejack asked. Plan is you all go, get the boy and Cadance, you all run and don't stop. Moreau answered. What about you? Pinky asked. Me? I'm going out front. Moreau said. With no time to argue they all followed his plan and proceed to do what needed to be done in order to save Danny and Cadance. With Moreau he headed to the front and shot the guards dead. With Johnny and his team they saw that the ceremony was still going and they were almost taken. Then Moreau appeared and shot all the cultists. Then Johnny ran and punched Rourke in the face. Back with Moreau he was about to kill more cultists, but then Blackout appeared and started rotting his body. Danny. Cadance, you gotta listen. We shouldn't have gotten rid of the power. I know that now. He's gonna erase you and Cadance. Johnny reasoned. Cadance. You have to break free from Rourke's control. Twilight worried. But he growled and threw them off the stage. Then Blackout finished rotting Moreau, but not before he had butted him and then died. The girls gasped in horror seeing their friend die. Okay. That's gross. Blackout said. You monster. Fluttershy cried as Blackout ran and got close to our heroes. You have no power, twerps. You're all nothing but insects like the rest. Food for the mills of hell. Rourke snarked. Then Blackout grabbed them and tortured them by rubbing his decaying hands on them as they screamed and yelled in pain. Then Danny and Cadance came to them. Now you're going to regret everything you done to me when I was human. And as for you two? Wanna watch? The apple doesn't rot far from the tree. Blackout said. Shut your fucking mouth, you rotten demon. Applejack yelled. Danny. Cadance. This isn't who you are. Please. You have to stop this. Shining cried. My powers and yours are the same. That's what you said. Right? Dad? Danny asked. Danny. No. Twilight shouted. However. Danny said as the others were in shock. Ever since I met these ponies I learned that you need to show loyalty towards your friends. And now, I want the riders, Hell Dragon, and the Sinister Six back. Then Danny ran towards Johnny and breathed hellfire into his mouth and he turned back into the Ghost Rider. Then suddenly he saw that the elements and the girls and Spike along with Shining changed too. Shining grabbed Cadance and enchanted her crown and guess what? She's now a Ghost Rider too. Then they all killed the cultists and roared like demons. Danny was unconscious and Rourke was outraged and grabbed him and escaped. And the sun rised but they didn't turn back to normal. So this is what it's like being a Ghost Rider. This is so awesome. Rider Cadance said. We can celebrate later Cadance, right now we have to kill Rourke and Blackout. Come everyone. It's time to send those two back to hell. Ghost Rider commanded. So he walked towards his bike and he used his hellfire and made 8 other bikes for the gang. Each one has the same look of hell. They all got in their bikes and since Ghost Rider was the leader he was going to command the mission. And yes, since Cadance is now a Ghost Rider she gets a bike too. They all climbed on and started to chase after them. On the road we see the Ghost Rider team chasing after Rourke. One of the bad guys tried shooting him but it didn't work so good. Then Ghost Rider, Shining, Cadance and Spike jumped onto the truck and Spike breathed hellfire burning him off. Then Ghost Rider enchanted the truck and proceeded to destroy the bad guys. Then suddenly Spike sensed that Blackout was near. Blackout. He's trying to kill Nadia. Spike feared. No worry Spike. I'll get that son of a bitch. Ghost Rider said. He proceeded to do so by throwing his chain and pulling him onto the truck and then the four began fighting the decaying demon. He tried using his decaying powers on them but the Riders and Hell Dragon were gaining the upper hand this time. Spike breathed hellfire burning his face, Shining and Cadance both began punching him and Ghost Rider grabbed him by the neck and strangled him on the edge. I was never afraid of you scums. Blackout shouted. Maybe not now. But after everything you did when I was kidnapped you should be. Rider Cadance said and roared demonic scaring the crap out of him. Then she threw a fireball at him and threw his body on the road leaving him to rot. Roadkill. Ghost Rider said. Then he called their bikes and they jumped on them and chased after Rourke with the Sinister Six following behind. Then both Ghost Rider and Applejack took out their chain and rope and pulled out a piece of the car making Rourke lose control and then he crashed right in the middle of the desert and the Rider team pulled in front of the car. One by one they all followed Ghost Rider and saw Rourke trying to escape from them. But due to the damage he took it was a losing battle to him. Then Ghost Rider grabbed him and they all unleashed a demon roar making him crap his pants. You. Worst fucking deal I ever made. Rourke growled. It's over Rourke. You're finished. Your ceremony is destroyed. You won't get Danny and Cadance's souls. Now go home. Rider Twilight said. Then Ghost Rider wrapped him in his chain and threw him straight in the ground. Then we see Rourke burning in the hellfire as he was now defeated. Then all the Riders unleashed a demonic roar in victory. But the leader remembered about. So he grabbed the unconscious body of Danny and gave him back to Nadia. Then Johnny and his team returned to normal and saw the state he was in. But then Johnny remembered what Moreau said. The angel. Moreau said that the Rider was an angel that went crazy. I can feel him, the angel. I can feel him. Johnny said as blue flames came out. Then he placed his hand on Danny and then to everyone's surprise he woke up and lived again. Danny. Are you alright Sugar Cube? Applejack asked. Yeah. And after everything that you and your friends did as those Riders. I'm gonna say you are freaking awesome. 20% more awesome. Danny smiled. Hey, that's my line. Rainbow replied. Well done everyone. Everyone turned seeing Mephistopheles standing there as he walked towards them. I have never been more proud of you than ever. And you saved Cadance and Danny. As for the promise I made to you all earlier I will now return Johnny's and Shining's souls. He then placed his hands on Johnny and Shining and they felt their souls returning back to their bodies and he released them. Mephistopheles. Thank you for keeping your word. Twilight said. Anytime. And as I also promised, Spike will forever be known as the Crystal Empire's hero and dragon of vengeance. From the day that you first got that power, he was destined for being a hero. And now look at what he did. Saved Cadance and showed he's not a weak dragon. It's time for you all to return to Equestria now. You can bring Nadia and Danny with you as they will need a new life. As for me, my work here is done. Farewell. Mephistopheles said. So he opened a portal and everyone entered the portal and when it closed he slammed his cane and disappeared. Chapter 11 Danny's New Home and Reunion Epilogue. The portal reopened and everyone came out and Danny smiled seeing everything that Equestria had to offer. Then they all went to the throne room where Celestia and Luna were waiting for them. They were so happy to see them that Cadance wrapped her arms around Celestia. And Roxanne arrived and hugged Johnny. Cadance. It's so great having you back. We missed you so much. Celestia said. Me too, Celestia. But thanks to Johnny and the girls they saved me. Cadance said. So this was where you and the girls were? Killing more demons and saving Cadance. Like the Ghost Rider you are, I believe. Roxanne replied. Though all have been quite the journey, haven't you? Luna asked. Y'all can sure say that again, Applejack chuckled. Out of all the adventures we've been on so far, Rainbow added. I gotta say this one's probably the most peculiar. Indeed, Princess Celestia nodded, with a slight chuckle. She looks behind them, noticing Danny and Nadia. He then went to her and got on his knees. It's an honor to meet royalty like you. In fact, I'm glad that your friends are willing to get me and my mom a new life here in Equestria. Your Royal Highnesses. Danny said. Both princesses turned to each other, before giggling to themselves. Celestia stepped forward, placing a gentle hoof upon Danny's shoulder. You give us far too much praise, my friend, she smiled. Sorry. So you're the rulers of this place? Danny asked. That's right. And since Cadance has returned back to where she is, the Crystal Empire will be so happy to see her again. Celestia smiled. Oh, and Johnny? While you and the others were busy dealing with Blackout and Rourke, we went to Earth and to the cemetery and decided to bring back someone who you were close to. Really? Who is it? Johnny wondered. Then he got his answered as he saw someone walk in the room. It was a man, but one that Johnny knew all too well when he was a little boy. It was none other than his dad, Barton Blaze. Johnny saw him and started to cry a little. Dad? Johnny asked. Hey Hotshot. I missed you. Barton said. The two came closer to each other and Johnny feels like it was an eternity since he last saw his dad. Then they hugged and embraced the moment. After 15 minutes they released each other. But Dad. What are you doing here? I thought you were dead. Johnny thought. So did I, son. But when these two told me that they revived me from the grave, I thought I was trippin'. And then they cured my illness and offered me a second life here. When I heard that you were living here, I couldn't stay away from my son any longer. Oh, and look at you now. All big and cool looking. Barton answered. Thanks, Dad. Oh, you have no idea how much I missed you. Johnny said, happy. Me too, son. Me too. Barton said. And Johnny? For saving me from Blackheart and saving Cadance from Blackout and Rourke, I have another surprise. You and your dad, Barton Blaze, are hereby going to perform a motorcycle show at the Crystal Empire later tonight for Spike's party. And Roxanne is invited too. Celestia said. Girls. Come. We have much to prepare at the Crystal Empire. Luna said. The girls all followed Celestia and Luna out of the throne room and had Danny and Nadia come so they can get some fresh clothes and look nice for the party. They left till Barton, Johnny, and Roxanne were the only ones here. Hotshot. Did I hear you say that you saved Celestia and Cadance from this Blackheart, Blackout, and Rourke? Barton asked. Yeah, Dad. See, long time ago I made a deal with the devil. But I wanted to rid your cancer. But it costed your life. Thus the devil had me as his bounty hunter. Had me and my friends kill demons. Anyone that escaped from hell. First it was his son known as Blackheart who kidnapped Celestia. And not too long ago was these two demons Blackout and Rourke who took Cadance and Danny. I had to become Ghost Rider to eliminate them. Johnny explained. It's true. I witnessed the whole thing in San Venganza. Roxanne agreed. Well, look at you, Hotshot. Being a famous motorcycle stunt devil and killing actual demons. Man, if I had knew that you were a spirit of vengeance, then I would have stuck around to see it. Come on, Hotshot. Let's go head to this Crystal Empire. We got a show to do. Like old times. And I wanna hear all about your adventures of you being this Ghost Rider and how you and your friends killed those bastards of hell. Barton said. The three walked out of the throne room and prepared to go to the Crystal Empire and perform as well. Zoom out of the castle. Then Johnny had this final words to say. My name is Johnny Blaze. And I, along with the main six and Spike, are known as the Ghost Rider, the Hell Dragon, and the Sinister Six. And thus ends the epic adventure of Johnny Blaze, aka the Ghost Rider. The end.
That's all, Zipsters! Like and subscribe.